Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
We are proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company vidIQ, as the world's most popular LGBT streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
We are proud that we have more than 1,000 new subscribers in the last month, and that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
More than 500,000 of you have watched this show in the last 90 days. We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in the LGBTQ community. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
It's Tuesday, April 15th, and we are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ community.
Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We will produce the 25th anniversary of our Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th. We present Pride Fete in August and Pride Fort Lauderdale in February. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders anchors will host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet today's anchors at Queer News Tonight. First up, let's welcome anchor Cindy Brown. Cindy was an early organizer of the Miami AIDS Walk and the White Party for Care resource. She is the program's director for the Lambda Living program at Jewish Community Services, and she also served as the founding executive director of Miami Beach Pride. Cindy, Art Walk Wearable Art Fashion Show is on April 19th. Tell me, what's happening?
Well, on Saturday, April 19th, Wilton Manors will witness a splash of color and creativity with an interactive cellophane art installation at Hotspots Media Group. The event will happen from 6:30 to 7 p.m. at Hotspots Happening Out Media Group at the Dixie Village location. The event is a part of the Art Walk Wilton Manors initiative and promises a hands-on artistic experience open to all, free of charge. The installation features a unique cellophane wall mural, first outlined by a professional artist. Once the initial design is complete, attendees are invited to pick up spray cans and contribute their own colors and patterns to the collaborative artwork. For more details, visit hotspotsmagazine.com. That just sounds like so much fun. I would just say, if you're going to be using spray paint, bring a mask. No huffing on the drive.
And don't wear white.
Right.
In case there's a little wind activity.
Yeah.
You take all the fun out of everything.
Well, if you want to smell the fumes, do it. But I think this is a really awesome project. It involves the community. Mm-hmm. It has art in mind. And when there's a collective activity, I think it just brings people closer together.
And it's exciting to see that Dixie Village section of Wilton Manors seeing an increase in artistic visibility with the galleries and events such as this. So
absolutely.
Excellent. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing. And Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Art Walk Wearable Art Fashion Show on April 19th. Let's welcome anchor Jasmine Price Lords. Jasmine Price Lords has been lighting up stages since 2009, bringing elegance, excellence, and energy to every performance. As the Florida mother of the legendary House of Lords, Jasmine has claimed numerous pageant titles and continues to lead with grace and power. A staple of the Florida drag scene, she hosts Sunday service at the Well each week, turning Sundays into sanctified celebrations. A classically trained musician, Jasmine also brings a unique flair to her shows with live flute and piccolo performances, blending talent, tradition, and show-stopping glamour. When Jasmine is not performing on stage, you can catch her working with Outshine Film Festival as she's their newest festival coordinator. Jasmine, Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival returns this week. Tell me, what's happening?
Well, the 27th spring edition of the Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival, presented by Gilead, begins on April 17th in Miami Beach and runs through April 21st. The celebration of queer cinema then moves to Fort Lauderdale from April 25th to the 27th, before going virtual with Outshine at Home from April 28th to May 4th. Opening night film and open bar party feature a screening of On Swift Horses at 7 p.m. on April 17th at Regal South Beach in Miami. The festival showcases powerful LGBTQ stories aimed at promoting visibility, inclusion, and awareness across South Florida and beyond. Outshine offers a range of films, community events, and conversations with individual tickets and membership packages starting at $90. Members gain exclusive access to special screenings, so for more details, visit outshinefilm.com. This is my first year working with Outshine. I'm having a blast planning all of the great events that are coming up. So if you're watching this and you don't have a ticket yet, please come to some of our parties. We have amazing actors. We have producers, film people coming to be a part of this great event from all over the world, and it's going to be so much fun.
You had me at open bar.
Yes.
I've been going to this film festival since year one. And it is amazing, not only in how the festival has changed, of course, the world has changed, but in those early days of the festival, it was really difficult to find good LGBT cinema. And there were some hard to sit through films back in the early days, but the films that we have now are amazing, and they do tell our stories, all of our stories.
Were you talking about Claire of the Moon by any chance? I have actually seen On Swift Horses, and I highly recommend it, not just for the queer content, but also the performances by the incredible lead actors, Jacob Elordi, Daisy Edgar-Jones, Will Poulter, Diego Calva, and Sasha Calle, all wonderful. It's a great mid-20th century period piece, and it's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing, and Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at the Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Fest returning this April. Let's welcome anchor Greg Shapiro. An inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame, Greg is an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ publications and websites. Greg, LGBTQ+ advocates head to Tallahassee to lobby for equality on April 22nd. Tell me, what's happening there?
Hundreds of LGBTQ advocates from across Florida are set to gather in Tallahassee for SAVE's annual Lobby Days at the state capitol. Taking place April 22nd and 23rd, the event empowers community members to speak directly with legislators and push back against harmful policies targeting queer rights. Organized by SAVE, a leading LGBTQ advocacy group, the two-day trips include meetings with lawmakers, storytelling sessions, and calls for inclusive legislation. The cost is $300 per person, covering transportation, lodging, and dinner. Scholarships are available to ensure participation from all backgrounds. The event not only equips individuals with advocacy tools, but also offers an opportunity to sponsor emerging LGBTQ+ leaders. Donations towards sponsorships are matched through the Florida AIDS Walk, doubling the impact. Interested participants can register at save.lgbt/lobbydays. Well, between the weekly Fort Lauderdale protests outside of the Tesla dealership and the recent and upcoming hands-off rallies, and then this SAVE event, it's really encouraging to see the activism and the outrage coming from our community. I mean, let's just hope that it leads to significant changes here and elsewhere.
Right. You know, I've been an activist for many, many years in the community. And, you know, in the 90s when we were fighting, at least in Miami-Dade County, to get the human rights ordinance that was inclusive. And then early on we got marriage equality. And then it seemed like the young people were just like, okay, we have everything now. And they really were complacent. And people like me are getting old and tired. So I'm really encouraged to see young people come out with this force of activism. And I know in addition to SAVE, Equality Florida also does lobby days at a different time. So I encourage folks that are able to try and go on one of these lobby day trips, because it's an opportunity to let your voice be heard, tell your story, and also learn a little bit more about the system and how it works or how it should work.
Well, and it's important that we remind Tallahassee that we're here.
Absolutely.
You know, because they are up there and tend to, you know, make all the legislation, all the crazy laws, and forget that, you know, the actual people are attached to what they're doing.
And the impact,
Humanize it. Yeah.
Well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. And we look forward to seeing you at Tallahassee to lobby for equality on April 22nd.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Dr. Ty Hauser. He's a professor of English and Humanities at Broward College and Florida Atlantic University. Ty, Latino Salute calls for health scholarship applications by May 9th. Tell me, what's happening?
Sure. Latino Salute is empowering the next generation of LGBTQ leaders through its 2025-2026 Pride Scholarship Program. Open to high school seniors entering college and continuing undergraduates, the program offers between $3,000 and $5,000 in awards, with graduate students being eligible for up to $6,000. Applications are now live at latinosalute.org, and the application deadline is May 9th, 2025. The scholarship supports queer students pursuing careers in nursing, psychology, public health, social work, and related health professions. All recipients must plan to work in South Florida's LGBTQ community after graduation. By investing in students committed to serving their own communities, Latino Salute continues to lead in both education and advocacy. For more information or to apply, you can visit latinosalute.org. And it's one of my favorite places in Wilton Manors. They do such good work for the community. And so many of them are easy on the eyes.
And it's not just in Wilton Manors.
Right.
There's one in North Miami, not too far from my office. And it's a great organization. And how wonderful that they are providing scholarships. There aren't many scholarships out there.
They do a lot of great work for our community. So many different fields.
And that's a considerable amount of money that will really be helpful.
No, that's good.
So, you know, any high school seniors graduating or continuing folks in college? Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing, and Queer News Tonight encourages our eligible viewers to submit your Latino Salute health scholarship applications by May 9th.
Outshine LGBTQ+ Film Festival is kickstarting on April 17th with 60+ award-winning films from around the world, exclusive premieres, and unforgettable experiences across Miami-Dade and Broward counties. Don't forget to buy the tickets for this exciting spring film festival. More details available on outshinefilm.com.
The Outshine Film Festival opens on April 17th at the Regal South Beach and runs for 11 days, followed by Outshine at Home. South Florida's most fun film festival is full of great films cocktail parties, informative Q&As with filmmakers, and terrific people. Watch new films that are only shown at the Outshine Film Festival. Our LGBTQ stories that are best watched together. Sharing the excitement of the festival. For more information, visit OutshineFilm.com.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Ty Hauser. Let's queer up the worldview. Hungary bans public LGBTQ events, sparking global outcry. In a move that's now drawing international outrage, Hungary has passed a sweeping new law banning LGBTQ public events, including pride celebrations, and allowing the use of facial recognition technology to identify participants. The bill passed Monday in a 140 to 21 vote along party lines. It criminalizes events deemed in violation of Hungary's 2021 child protection law, which bans any depiction or promotion of homosexuality to minors. Those who attend or organize such gatherings could face fines of up to $550. The law's expansion includes a constitutional amendment defining only two sexes, contradicting scientific consensus and echoing a Trump-era executive order. Hungary's far-right Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a close Trump ally, has repeatedly used anti-LGBTQ rhetoric to solidify his base. In response, over 10,000 people flooded the streets of Budapest on Saturday in protest, dressed in somber grays. Organized by the satirical Two-Tailed Dog Party, demonstrators carried signs reading "Sameness is trendy" and "Censorship." The United Nations condemned the law, urging Hungary to repeal the legislation and protect queer rights under international law. So it's a sad, sad state of affairs when we can compare our government with other governments doing the same thing. You think, oh, it's not just here, it's not Hungary, right? But it's here.
Well, I think it's in Hungary because it's here. Mm-hmm. I think that, the United States has, for better or worse, been a beacon to a lot of nations around the world. And with the signaling that is coming out of the White House now, it's just like the people in our communities who now we know who's anti-Semitic, now we know who's homophobic, now we know who's racist, and these countries are feeling like, okay, the United States is doing it. They're talking about it. Yeah. We're going to do it too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, as someone who was 1/4 Hungarian, thanks, Grandma Esther, I am constantly appalled at what has become of Hungary at the hands of Viktor Orban. I mean, it's just bleak and depressing.
Yeah. Unfortunate. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Cindy Brown, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Naples Pride sues city over soaring security fees. Naples Pride has filed a lawsuit against the city of Naples, Florida, accusing officials of imposing unconstitutional burdens and skyrocketing security fees ahead of this year's Pride Fest. Backed by the ACLU of Florida, the lawsuit challenges the city's decision to deny a permit for its June 7th event at Cambier Park and demands $36,000 in security costs, far more than similar-sized events. According to drag performer and activist Miss Minnie Bouvier, quote, "This will likely be the first of many prides under this administration that will face these kinds of uphill battles to just exist within a conservative city," end quote. Bouvier has been crowdfunding for the event. The ACLU says the city is targeting drag and LGBTQ expression. Samantha Past, the ACLU of Florida's LGBTQ plus rights attorney, said, quote, "Drag is constitutionally protected even if someone doesn't like it," end quote. Despite mounting costs, Naples Pride is pushing ahead. Pride organizers promise to fight until the community can celebrate together. Free, joyful, and proud. Well, as the founding director of Miami Beach Pride, I can relate to this. And, one of the things I will say is if you have let's just conservatively say, and I'm talking about Miami Beach, 30,000 people, 40,000 people in one space at a time. I think the gay pride events are the only ones that don't end up with big fights and arrests and shootings. And, I think that to demand such exorbitant security, is ridiculous. And if anyone needs security, it's the people who are going to Pride from the people outside.
Right.
It's obviously a tactic to force them to not be able to have pride.
Right.
That's definitely what it is. I mean, obviously, and it's really sad because, like you said, they're trying to find ways to dismantle everything that we worked so hard to build, and this is just another example of that. And I'm a part of the gay band as well, and they were reaching out throughout the other communities from other places that their band members are not feeling comfortable to go to pride parades in March, and they're reaching out to community bands if any of us would volunteer and go, because just the way the world is going. So I hate to say it, but their tactics are starting to work. They're having an effect where we're afraid to go and do these things that we fought so hard to be equal and be able to do, and now here we are taking a huge step backwards, and it's just so sad.
Well, I know that Queer News Tonight anchor William Haas is based in Naples, and he's spoken of the active LGBTQ community there on the Gulf Coast. I just hope they're able to resolve this issue and have the chance to celebrate Pride in Naples.
Absolutely. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's deep dive into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Jasmine Price Lords, and let's queer up drag culture. Fans rally behind Anya and Jules ahead of Drag Race finale. RuPaul may have the final say, but fans are making their voices loud and clear as a RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17 finale inches closer. After a heartbreaker of an episode that saw fan favorite and our hometown girl, Susie Toot, controversially eliminated, the final four queens are now confirmed. Anya Nerve, Lexi Love, Jules Sparkles, and Sam Starr. In a twist that's quickly become tradition, Mama Ru has handed the power to the people, asking viewers to show their support for their favorite queen, and the fans have delivered. The show's official social media page posted hashtag team promos for each finalist, and fans wasted no time. Southern Belle Sam Starr currently trails in fourth with 41,000 likes, while Lexi Love, repping Louisville, sits in third with 63,000. But it's a two-queen race at the top. Ohio's multi-talented Anya Nerve and Florida's radiant Jules Sparkles. Anya is out front with a jaw-dropping 592,000 likes on her hashtag Team Anya Nerve post. Jules isn't far behind with 460,000 likes on her hashtag Team Jules Sparkles post. Both posts are among the most liked in Drag Race history. Celebs and alum are joining the chorus too. Pablo Vittar, Tom Daley, and Morphine Love Dion are riding with Team Jules, while Preston Mitchum and Tyler Oakley are repping Team Anya. Whether it's Anya's 4 challenge wins or Jules' beautiful glow up, fans are ready for a grand finale on April 18th. Could this be the year that we get a Florida RuPaul Drag Race win? Finally, after all these years, we've had so many people so close. Morphine was in the top 5 last year. Susie Toot was our backup girl. We had another one. She made a top 5. Latrice was top 5. Roxy, top 5. So we have so many so close. Could this be the year that we finally get Jules Sparkles? I'm so excited.
So you're on hashtag Jules?
I'm on hashtag Team Anya. But if either of them win, I would be proud.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Anya has had an amazing, amazing run this season from the very beginning. I think she has just been top tier, and I love what she's bringing to the show. Jules is also amazingly talented. I just leaning one way, but either one of them can catch the crown, and I would be thrilled for both of them.
Awesome.
I have to say that in the years that I've been anchoring for Queer News Tonight and talking about RuPaul's Drag Race and so many stories, I have still not watched one single episode of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Every Friday night at the Well, we host a viewing party. Come hang out and have a shot with me. I got you your first one.
What an invitation.
Come hang out.
I guess I will too.
Yes.
That's the big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Greg Shapiro, and let's queer up the USA View. Trump zeroes out public media, saying, "The NPR PBS grift has ripped us off for too long." The White House issued a scathing post last night calling for an end to taxpayer funding for NPR and PBS, long-standing public media institutions that many in the LGBTQ community trust for balanced coverage. The article, titled "The NPR PBS grift has ripped us off for too long," accuses both outlets of spreading what it calls radical woke propaganda disguised as news. It calls out LGBTQ-related programming, including a Valentine's Day feature on queer animals, a PBS documentary supporting reparations, and a drag queen segment on a children's show. Trump said, quote, "Taxpayers' funding of NPR's and PBS's biased content is a waste," end quote. PBS and NPR also criticized for refusing to cover the Hunter Biden laptop story in 2020, reporting on genderqueer dinosaur enthusiasts, and in the article's words, suggesting doorway sizes reflect latent fat phobia. Notably, the Post derides NPR's effort to educate teens with content like Queer Ducks, which explored animal sexuality. While many in the LGBTQ community see public media as one of the few places telling their stories authentically, this latest attack underscores growing political hostility. At a time when queer youth face rising censorship and discrimination, public media remains a rare, safe space, one now in the political crosshairs. Just for the record, there is nothing new about this. The Republicans have been trying to demolish NPR and PBS for years.
Yeah.
Yes.
And since MAGA gets all its information from unreliable and dishonest news sources, NPR and PBS continue to get stuck in their craw.
Right.
And when grifters use the word grift, that's just another example of classic Trump speak. Grifter.
It's
How
so funny.
do you
They're
really
going
feel,
after the queer animals, but aren't you the one saying that being gay is not natural? But here we have it. And God's created Earth with all these animals that naturally have it occurring.
Well, that's
in
why he
their
doesn't want
that,
it
right,
on there.
because you can't deal with the fact that we're beating you at your own game. You give us a point, we knocked it out. Next.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that, PBS, I was a kid and was watching, educational programming on PBS, and that was back when there was only like 4 TV channels or something. But, there's a whole educational component that is not like regular cartoons. It's educational program created for kids to learn and to learn about the world.
But they wanted to learn about the world that they want
That's right.
them to know about.
And I don't want to live in a world where we don't have publicly funded
Right.
television art. It's not safe. It's not safe to not have that.
Right.
Or did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Okay. That's the big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer non-profit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Ty Hauser. Let's queer up the USA View. Zuckout says the hacked California crosswalks. Crosswalk buttons in at least 3 California cities appear to have been hacked this weekend, replacing standard safety audio with bizarre AI-generated voices mimicking text billionaires Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. In Palo Alto, city officials confirmed that 12 downtown intersections were affected. The voices, designed to assist people with vision impairments, are now disabled while repairs are underway. However, a city spokesperson assured that the signals were otherwise working as they should. One viral clip from Emerson Street and University Avenue features a Musk impersonation.
Wait. Hi, this is Elon Musk. Welcome to Palo Alto, the home of Tesla engineering. You know, they say money can't buy happiness, and yeah, okay. I guess that's true. God knows I've tried. But it can buy a Cybertruck, and that's pretty sick, right? Right? Fuck, I'm so alone.
A separate video featuring a simulated Mark Zuckerberg voice also boasted.
Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. You know, it's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience. And I just want to assure you, you don't need to worry, because there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. Anyway, see ya.
California's Redwood City and Milano Park also reporting similar hacks. In Redwood City, officials are actively investigating. For many in the LGBTQ community, the fake Zuckerberg line about making the world less safe for trans people hits a nerve, mocking real concerns about the role of big tech in spreading anti-trans rhetoric. As these tech CEOs continue to shape the digital world, some say this prank feels uncomfortably close to the truth. I love it. I think people, when they do stuff like this, are just ingenious. And I'm glad that we're trolling them.
I mean, I think that they, you know, if we want to say it, you know, they started it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, they're allowing all of this misinformation without fact checking. And so what about a little misinformation about them?
Yeah. Hello.
Well, finally, a hilarious example of tech being used to taunt and haunt giants of the industry. Whoever did this deserves to win that Nobel Peace Prize that Trump so desperately wants. Give it to him.
Absolutely.
I support it.
Absolutely. That's the big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ and ally community.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your family and friends. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Ty Hauser, and on behalf of these LGBTQ reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Cindy Brown, Jasmine Price Lords, and Greg Shapiro. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ world, we hope you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, be transformative, and of course, queer. Good night.
Good night.